Welcome to Garage Gym Athlete Cool Downs. These episodes are short, actionable podcasts pulled from previous interviews and content we've been publishing for the last several years. So go for a walk, hop on the rower, or clip into the bike for this cool down episode. Yeah, no, that's something I noticed from your, I just say, kind of what would be the underlying theme of a lot of your content is like you genuinely want to help people. And I think that comes across. Where do you think that desire came from? I mean, is it because you had some results and you wanted other people to see the same thing? Like what motivates you? Because some people could find, something that works for them and not care to share it at all. So what motivated you to do that?
Well, I think in the food and fitness industry, we're just bombarded with a lot of, can I cuss on this podcast?
Yes, you can.
Okay. I was just going to say bullshit, but I didn't want to offend anybody if we're not allowed to say that. But I think we're just bombarded with a lot of bullshit, and it's really hard to file through all of that and to know where to look. And I remember being in high school and putting myself on diet pills and taking these energy drinks so I could work out for 2 to 3 hours, and just like complete bullshit. And I wish I would have had someone to look up to say, oh, it can be just as simple as working out every week and eating real food. And you can see dramatic changes, not only in your physical appearance, but your mental ability. And I wish I would have had somebody to tell me that it's really that simple, instead of showing me all these different protein powders and supplements and these workouts that really didn't make a difference when I tried them. So that's why I want to share it, because I wish I would have had that when I was younger and I was just destroying my body with all this crap. So that's the main reason I share it. I had such amazing results, and from eating paleo and from working out and doing CrossFit and taking care of myself. And I want others to just take care of themselves instead of just buying all this crap online and hoping for this magic pill, because that's just not how it works.
Yeah, if you stick to the real popularized information, that can, or the magazines that have the greatest reach and stuff, they're typically not the ones that are giving the best information, but they're selling a lot of magazines. What would you say, if any, problems did you have with following that bad advice? You said you were taking a bunch of energy drinks and not doing a lot of things that maybe seemed healthy, but you now know aren't. Did anything negative result in all that?
I mean, I had a ton of stomach issues growing up because of the gluten I was eating, but I'm sure the other diet pills and the supplements and energy drinks, everything that I was consuming did not help by any means. So it took probably 3 or so years to completely heal my gut. And I had leaky gut and had all kinds of issues and was allergic to all kinds of things because of that. And so it took years to heal. But more than anything, doing all those things was just so mentally draining. And I think I missed out on a lot of things in my life because I was so insanely obsessed with the physical and looking like a certain person instead of just being the best version of myself and enjoying the journey and enjoying the results time after time. Before, I would just look in the mirror and hate everything about myself, and I was physically frozen. I didn't do anything. I didn't go out. I didn't spend time with friends because I was so unhappy. And so I think I just missed out more than anything because of those obsessing over like fitness magazines and wanting to look like these fitness models. It was just such a dark time.
And do you ever feel any of that? Like, do you still struggle with any of that today? I mean, you're still very into health and fitness, obviously. Does it ever creep back, that obsession that makes you want to, makes you feel differently, I guess?
Oh, absolutely. I think that's a daily battle. I find myself having to unfollow people sometimes because like fitness girls, I love to follow because I love seeing some of the movements they do and trying to enter those in my own workout routine. But I'll find myself thinking, well, why don't I look like that girl? I've been working this hard for this many years. I should look like that. And I'll find myself having to unfollow them and getting it completely out of my mind and moving forward. But it's definitely a battle on a regular basis, and not it's totally a battle, and it's something you have to work on and think about and say, okay, I'm not going to feel this way. I'm going to work my ass off how I always do at my job and the gym with eating healthy meals. And I can't wait to see what the future brings. But it's definitely a battle. And I don't think it'll ever fully go away, but you can really change the way you think if you're ready to do that.
And how did you transition from, let's see, if I were to draw a timeline here, maybe you said gluten in your diet early on, to having digestive problems. It took you a couple years to figure that out. But where did fitness like come into this? I mean, have you been into fitness your whole life? Because I think you were probably still not having the best diet when you're still having digestive issues. I mean, when you were doing fitness. So when did working out start?
Well, working out, I was a swimmer for part of my life, and then when I stopped swimming in high school, I would go to the gym, and I would be on the Stairmaster for like 2 hours, and would start doing some lifting weights, and then I would just go through periods of working out. So I was always into fitness, and I really wanted to find confidence in the gym, but I just had a hard time with it. And it was I found CrossFit in probably my junior year of college, and then started doing CrossFit and really building that fitness routine. And that's when I started CrossFit. It was probably about a year into doing CrossFit on my own that I said, okay, it's time to start changing my diet. And then it started from doing the zone diet. So I was mostly, you're not counting calories, but you're doing kind of moderation with your food. And then went into paleo diet within like the second year of doing CrossFit, if that all makes sense.
It does make sense. And what did you do specifically to heal your leaky gut?
I mean, I cut out all gluten. I wasn't drinking any alcohol. I stuck to a pretty clean paleo diet. So I didn't do any gluten-free grains back then, no legumes, no dairy. And that was it. I was eating a very, very simple diet of like chicken, broccoli, avocado for almost every meal because I was training and I was working at a couple different jobs, so I had to pack all my food with me for the entire day. So I would just eat with these simple meals, and my gut was really able to heal itself over time. That if I have a little bit of gluten in my diet nowadays, I can get past it. It doesn't ruin me. But before, I would be in bed for hours.
Wow, that's crazy. And you said it took a full 2 to 3 years to feel like you were finally like recovered from that.
Yeah.
Well,
It took a while.
Yeah, and I could see it taking a long time to fix a problem like that. Now going back to, you went full time on PaleOMG, and you said a year to 2 years after opening it.
Yeah, I can't remember the exact timeline, but it was within the first and second year.
That's awesome. And so day one, you start the blog. Did you think that it would be a full time job? Fast forward a year, 2 years.
100% no. I had no idea you could make money off blogs, and they've really come a long way in the past 7 years that I've been writing blogs. And yeah, I had zero clue that this would be a job in general. I put Google ads on my website at one point. And that started making a little bit of money. And then I had a couple companies reach out to me, but I had no clue this would be my job in any capacity. I thought I would be a personal trainer or own a gym. That was kind of my end goal. But yeah, it changed directions.
Well, that's awesome. And it's a lot of fun. So I run online business too, full time, but I'd like to hear from you. What's been your biggest, let's go with struggle in running an online business?
Ooh, not being a complete bitch when people are mean to me on the internet. Like that's something I'm trying to work on. It's hard not trying to stick up for yourself. And that's like one of the hardest things. It's just human interaction, and everybody has an opinion, and you work so hard to come up with content and come out with a great product, and then someone puts you down for it, and it's really hard. And I get those reviews on my cookbooks and apparel or whatever it is, and it's hard to hear that. So I'm trying to take feedback, whether it's negative or positive, in a better way. But I think that's the hardest struggle, is just hearing other people's opinions of things that you've worked really, really hard on and worked your ass off for, and someone doesn't like it. I think that's the toughest part, because you want everybody to like everything you do, but that's just not life.
Thanks for listening to today's Cool Down. If for some ridiculous reason you are not subscribed to Garage Gym Athlete programming, fix that problem right now. Go to GarageGymAthlete.com, sign up for a free trial, get started with us today. Thanks for listening.